Dave Snyder here. It is October the 31st, 2012. Halloween. Okay, so here we go. Biggest lie on Earth. Biggest lie on Earth is all about the Earth. Okay, the moon and the Earth. What I've been doing for the past 3 years is reverse image overlays of the moon's surface over the Earth. Okay, I take the moon surface and I flip the picture over and I overlay it onto the Earth using Google Earth. Anybody can do it. You can copy it. You can check everything that I'm showing you. You can check it yourself. I recommend you have a big screen, as big a screen as you can. If you're not watching in full screen, please click it on the full screen because you're going to have to be able to see it. I mean, to see what I mean, you're going to need a big screen. Okay, so please, continue to watch the whole video because you never know, I might discover something while we're watching here. Okay, so what I want to show you first is the supposed last impact crater on the moon. They say this is the most recent impact crater on the moon, Tycho, right here. This is reversed over the Earth, and I know the moon's not supposedly not that big, but it is that big. Like I said, it's a big lie. And I'm going to show you why in just a moment. Why I know they lied to you. There's a reason for them. I mean, there's many reasons why they don't tell you the truth about the moon and the Earth. Many reasons, but I'll get to those in a minute. Okay, so this is Tycho over the Earth, reversed, right here in the Pacific Ocean, right here, where the Hawaiian island chain is. As you can see, they are the same angle, exactly the same. Those lines are perfectly parallel with the Hawaiian Islands. That's the exact same angle as you see on Earth in Tycho right here. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn on the weather. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see. It takes a little practice, but I think you'll be able to see it today. Okay, so this is the weather over the Earth right now, live weather. This is exactly what it looks like right here in Hawaii right now, or the Hawaiian Island chain anyway, right here in the Pacific. All right, so just watch as I fade this out, and just check it out. Look at it fit. Watch all this line right here, and all this up here. Now this has been set in place. This crater, for months. I mean, at least 4 or 5 months. I've had this sitting right here in this spot. I don't move it. The weather, whenever there's weather here, it will always fit. It always does fit. This is I just turned this on just before I started making the video. Checked it, and you can see. I mean, it's not coincidence that it fits like that right now, and it's not because it fits like that every time. Whenever you turn the weather on, this is different weather than there will be tomorrow, right? Tomorrow the weather might be down here, but it will still fit this impact crater on the moon with it overlaid on the Earth, because apparently Tycho hits right there in the ocean, right there at one time in Earth's history. So that's a big. I mean, they tell us so much about the moon, and then they give us these images of the moon that fit like this on the Earth. So I don't know what to say about that. If you ask me, they're lying about the moon all the science about the moon basically is a lie. It's got to be. The moon's got to be bigger. And the moon has hit the Earth many times, many times. This is not even close to the only one. And you can tell by there's the geologic history of the Earth. You can see it in the history of the Earth. You can see it just by looking around you. You can see it. Okay, the geologic structures on the Earth, the walls of the Grand Canyon, 8 layers, 8 sediment layers, all different. Each one's a different sediment layer, a mile high. 8 layers a mile high. Okay, so I mean each one of those layers is a moon impact on the Earth, creating that new sediment layer each time. A thick sediment layer. It's each one's from the moon impacting the Earth. So you've got at least 8 impacts right there on the walls of the Grand Canyon, and you can tell by the geology of that area, and everywhere on the Earth has been hit by the moon. So here you go. Here's some more. Let's just check it out some more. I don't want to just keep talking here. Tycho, right there in the Pacific. As you can see, Tycho has these rays that come downwards. Right here, this big ray right here. All these rays that come out. Okay, and then you can just see in the ocean, you see all these islands right here. And remember, these are drawings. You're not going to get anything perfect. It's a computer drawing. The other one is a drawing. But you can see where the lines come out. Right here in the ocean, and in the islands, you can see where it goes through. You can see there's something that comes through right here, comes down, and you can see all of that. Look at that. pushing all this stuff around. I mean, this is not the only impact in this area either. This used to be apparently at the North Pole. This used to be the North Pole. I heard it the other day. I heard it on I read it somewhere. I saw it on a video. That the middle of the Pacific used to be at the North Pole, or at the pole. I think they said the North Pole. Okay, so this used to be the North Pole, and this was hit so many times by the moon. Look at this. This is the deepest place on Earth, Marianas Trench. It's the size of a moon impact. Look at that. The whole thing this subduction is from the impact. Same with this, dead center right here, impact, right there. We're going to go through a lot of things here. I'll show you a lot of things. I'm not very well organized, and so just bear with me a little bit. And I don't know it all. I'm just saying that this is what I'm trying to show, what I see. It looks to me. I mean, I've done this for 3 years, and I know pretty much every day I've been doing it for 3 years, a lot of hours, and they tie themselves together every time. I mean, I'll put one in one place and another one in one place, and features will overlap and they'll match, and all kinds of ways I can confirm it. But with the weather, the weather is something I ran across accidentally, and it just took off from there. So let's go over to our little superstorm that we had last few days. Okay. Let's see if I can find the thing, the overlay. That's coming. I got it right here. Right here. Alright, so here you go. This is what's left of that. I made a video about it earlier, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but you can see how well this fits, this storm. Here, turn this off and on here. See how it fits right in there? Wish I could take this off and just still use my slider. God, I hate this. Alright, here you go. Look how it fits around here. All this part. And look right here. Look at this little spot right here. Even kind of curves around that crater there. You got this up here fitting perfectly. Look at this. Look at this. This is so nice. Watch this. See that? God, I hope you can see that. Maybe I have to back up a little bit. You stand back from your monitor and just look at that. Look at that alignment. Right here. Look at the shape of the right here. Look at this shape. Right there. And then look on the moon. And then it cuts this thing down here. You can see the same thing. This point where it comes down like this to a point, and then all these little lines in there, every one of them. Look at that. This curves right around that area. Look at that. And then it comes back to this corner, stops, and you can see all that. Then you come over here. I haven't even really looked in this area too much. But you can see that all fits too. Look at this right here. But that line comes down. It's all here. Look at that. Every area. Right there you can see. And then you come over here to this area. Look. Up to a point, and then it comes back down to this angle here. Same thing on the moon. Stand back. Take a look. This all just lined up on its own. All I did was line this up. And then once I lined this up, I saw something up here that I was able to just turn it and get it right in place. And let me just show you over the land. Now that we've looked at that, let's take a look at it over the land. Oh, turn it off. Where'd it go? All right. Okay, so let me turn the weather off. Turn this back on. Okay, so over the land. I don't know why I just made a video about this. So I shouldn't go too far into this. But this is how it fits. You can see all this up here. Look at this area here. Texture. Watch. That stuff just fell right into place. I'm telling you, all I seen this. I was lining this up with the storm, with the weather. I lined this up with the weather. I used the weather to line that up because you can see how it fits. It's a circle, and all you got to do is There it is, right there. See it all the way over to here. You see how this all fits right here. Put that in place, and then all this stuff, other stuff fell into place. Honestly, fell right into place. And once I noticed this part right here, I was just like, yeah, there it is. There it is. Deny that. You got this right here. Look at this right here where this angle is. Right there. Look at that. This area here, you can see. Then you stand back and look at the way it all curves around, like you see the North America does. Look at that. Oh wow. There's Colorado right here. You can see that. Just look how it curves. See this line that comes up this way at the angle? Look at that. You can see this mountain, this row of mountains right there. Right there. Look at that. Right in place. That big crater right there. Look at that. It's going to be right in place, I bet you. Yeah, right over the top of that mountain, that peak. Watch. It's hard to see on their pictures, but right here is probably the peak. You see something right there. Look at that. This is a really accurate alignment right here. One of the most accurate I've ever done. It just fell right into place. In the center of it, well, let's put it this way. This is the reason why they don't want to tell you, right? This is the reason they don't want to tell. They didn't tell you in the beginning because it brings all the minerals and all the things to the Earth. The impacts the moon hitting the Earth creates a lot of things on the Earth. It puts the gold in the quartz. It puts everything on the Earth. It puts all the things in their place on the Earth. All the diamonds, all the rubies, all the whatever there are in whatever place they're at. That's where the moon put them there. Okay, so here you go. This is one of the biggest mines and richest mines in the North America right here. This Sudbury mine, and it's right here. Let me just turn on Sudbury right here. There it is, Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. And there's an episode of How the Earth Was Made, and it's about asteroid impacts and meteor impacts, right? Okay. Let them have their way. And so apparently this was impacted by they figured out that it was impacted by something. It's a 150-mile crater. It's a crater about 150 miles, in diameter, and it's one of the richest mines in North America for all kinds of stuff. And there's a guy that was in that episode of How the Earth Was Made, and he said he said something. It might have been so big that when it hit the Earth and it came back, it shot stuff back out. You might even find pieces of it on the moon. That cracks me up when I see people say that stuff like that, because he was trying to hint to you. He's trying to tell you that you'll find pieces of that on the moon, and just like the other episode of How the Earth Was Made about the Marianas Trench, where 8 minutes in they say, and it remained a mystery to this day what created the Marianas Trench, and then they show a picture of the moon. No reason to show the moon, just out of nowhere, show a picture of the moon for a second, and they go back to the ocean. So they know that they're trying to give you little things, but it's all has to do with the minerals on the Earth. They're not going to tell anybody. You better believe they're not going to tell nobody. Whether it don't matter how important of the science is, it doesn't matter. They're not going to tell you. I'm telling you, if they don't want you to know, you will not know. They've fed so much disinformation to us about the moon and all of that, and that it's impossible for it to ever hit the Earth or whatever. Then why do these prints fit so well on the Earth? It's not coincidence. There's no way. I've been doing this for 3 years, like I said, and I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen it. They always fit. The weather shows everything. The weather confirms it all. Look at that. Watch. Here you go. It even changed a little bit. It even came out this way. Watch. It still fit right there. You see where it comes out that way. Crater. Right here. You see the edge of that? It comes up at an angle right there. You see the same thing at this right here. Now weather's not always right on its mark, Sometimes it's a little up and a little bit off to the side, but you can see the center of it right there. That's that dimple in this is the center of that right there. That's what you see. And then you see it go right around this whole crater. All the weather go right around that one crater right there. I should get back into the Sudbury thing. Yeah, the Sudbury mine is right there in that spot, right where this crater is. Right where that crater is. Crater Sudbury, and here's this crater. And if you measure this crater, you can see it goes from about here to here, and you can see it's not just that little center, it's the whole thing kind of has this thing around the outside. And when you measure it, it comes to about 150 miles, somewhere, yeah, right there. 150 miles, 167 miles. So I'm probably over. It's probably more like 150, I'd say. Yeah, like this. 150 miles. So they're right about something hitting there, and they're right. They would find pieces on the moon, especially if they looked right there on the moon. They would definitely find pieces of Sudbury right there, or same kind of stuff. There'd be something there, something to tell you. So, I mean, you can see that that's on. That was right on there. So that's the reason why they won't tell you about it's the reason why at first why they didn't want to tell people. Now they can't tell. I mean, it's all, they got you set and programmed already to believe what they what they tell you. So hopefully you're not that type of person that just believes what you're told and doesn't check for yourself. Or I check for myself when it's something that important. I just decided to check for myself because I watched those episodes of how the Earth was made, and every one of them would piss me off because they'd get to the point where I'd be like, okay, well, that's it? Just plate tectonics? Just volcanoes? That's it? The whole thing? The whole Earth? Come on. There's got to be more to it than that. You can see it in the geology. You can see it in the history of all the history that we have of the Earth. The dinosaurs were killed and buried. These weren't meteors. They weren't asteroids. What caused the ice ages? All of it. All of it. It's pretty clear. Ties in with the Mayan calendar. It ties in with the pyramids and the Egyptians. It ties in with all the ancient civilizations and everything. It does. Because, let me show you, Mayan calendar. I just did this earlier too. You can just watch my last video. It shows the Mayan calendar, and I line everything with the Mayan calendar, that crater, Mare Oriental. If you take a look at it, well, this picture's kind of tweaked off to the side because it's up there going towards the poles. But if you look at it, it's actually like this. This is the way they saw, and they saw like this. This is the way I think they seen it. They either seen it like this with the pyramid on the top, because there's a pyramid right on the top right here, and you can't see it in this picture. You got to look at the Google Moon picture to see it. We should do that on this actually, because the other one I showed earlier was not that good. So let's go do this. Come on. Okay, so I used a picture from that I saved in that earlier video. I used a picture I saved from Google Moon. There you go. There's the pyramid. See the pyramid on the top? It looks a lot smaller on the moon, doesn't it? So I was showing you. Seen how big I was showing you that crater on the Earth? That's how big that crater has to be. Is the size I showed you on the Earth? It has to be that size. So you got to imagine the moon's bigger than they say. It's got to be bigger than they say. It could be as big as the Earth itself. From my measurements, I've measured it, I've checked it, and from my measurements, it's bigger than the Earth. It's right around the same size as the Earth. I should put it right there. Let me just put it right there. They're real close. It's either just over or just under. So it's hard to get a real accurate measurement, but you can. I mean, I've got a video up about it. I've got pretty accurate measurement. I show all the ways that I showed it and everything. So there's your pyramid builder. That's why they built the pyramids right there. This is why ancient civilizations built pyramids. Got the light on the top, the whole bit. Whole thing. Just look at it. This is that's the Mayan calendar right there. There's your pyramid. This basically it was a picture of the moon. It might be a calendar, but it's also a picture of the moon as they saw the moon. and this is a really weak picture. There should be lines that go all the way around. You know, rings. There's more rings than they're showing. That this is a really bland picture of the moon. The whole thing, all Google Moon is like that. There's a reason, because you would be able to take the moon if they showed you a detailed image of the moon, or gave you a detailed moon instead of just this strip that you can zoom in on, which really sucks as well. You know what I mean? But if you had this all throughout this whole thing, oh man, you could really kick ass. You could really line some stuff up. But that's all you get is that strip. That's it. Right there, that's it. And over here, you don't even really get that. You get some kind of haze, you know. That's it. So that's the reason. You can obviously see that that's the reason. And they hide it in other ways. They hide weather on the Earth sometimes to hide, you know, when they get a really distinct weather shape on the Earth that shows, that looks like a crater on the moon, they hide those sometimes, believe it or not. Believe it or not, this is all this big crater here. Oh, I should have stayed there. I want to show you that too. Hold on. Look, these impacts are big. This is an old impact. This used to hit a lot, but this impact is this big. This big. It's all the way pretty much around. This whole thing. It's been covered by these impacts right here. These are the most recent impacts that have covered the older ones on the backside of the moon. This one. Here's an old one. Another old one. See the size of it. It's actually this big, but it's been covered. Here's an old one. Not as old as these, but somewhat covered. There's the center right there. Same these as well right here. There's center. See the big circle. They're all impacts. All of these are impacts with Earth. Believe it or not, it's the biggest lie on the planet. I'm telling you, it's the biggest lie. You can find it out for yourself. You can look into it yourself. I'm doing something anybody could do. Just nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's a depressing subject. Let's just find the way it is. Let's not change anything, even if it's, you know, a big fat lie. Let's just continue on with the big lie. You know, that's fine. As long as I know, I'd like other people to know too. You know, but you know, it's no big deal. As long as I know, all my answers have been, or all my questions have been answered. They've all been answered. I know pretty much what's going to happen someday, what the Mayans are talking about, why they built pyramids. I even think that when they did build the pyramids, that the moon was closer to the Earth, and gravity on the Earth was weakened by it being closer. It weakened Earth's gravity, and I think that those boulders that they put up there and carried for miles and miles away weren't as heavy as we think they are, or as heavy to them as they are to us. That's what I think. I think angels, and I think that there were people that actually took that to their advantage and made wings like the birds had, so that they could fly and learned how to fly. And those people, that's why you see Egyptians with pictures with wings on their arms, stretched out with wings hanging down from their arms, and you got angels, because there were people that actually did put it to good use, the gravity. So people probably did fly back then, believe it or not. I mean, that's something to think about. And then you got dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are huge. Why did they have to be so big? Just maybe that's the only way that they could really keep themselves down or something. Who knows? I mean, you got whales. Why are they so big? Why did you believe in evolution? Why did they evolve to be so big? You know, why did they have to be so big? That's part of evolution, right? You got to evolve into that. So there's a reason why they had to get so big. I know the food was high up, or I don't know what you could, but it's a good idea that the gravity was weaker, because the moon has hit the Earth, and it was definitely closer at one time. Whether there was people on the Earth to experience that or not, I don't know. But we got ancient civilizations that just disappeared not too long ago. So they're not really that ancient. And there's people before them that are still digging up places all the time. So anyways, I'll just end it there. All right.